Hey everyone, and welcome to Smart About Stuff with Melodian. And this is the very first one, our inaugural. Say that 3 times.
I'm glad that happens to someone else besides me.
It's the very first one, okay?
Yes.
All right. So we are here with Misty Lee Johnson, and she's going to be talking to us a little bit today about Facebook and the use of Facebook groups. So, Misty, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your business?
Well, as you said, I'm Misty Lee Johnson, and I am a elite consultant for a jewelry company online. And when I began the jewelry company as an independent consultant, I just wanted to make a little extra money. And we did it on Facebook, of course. And one of the things that we did that we're very thankful for today, 5 years later, is we started a Facebook group, because I began to notice that my only option at the time was my newsfeed or creating this group. And so I decided to create a group where I brought my friends and family at the time and said, hey, I've got this product I'm selling. I'm going to be having parties. Would you mind giving me some feedback? That's really how it started. Would you mind giving me some feedback? Because I didn't want to be spammy. I didn't want to be that lady, taking everybody's newsfeed hostage. And I wanted them to know that I really had something good to offer. That's the reason I was selling it, because I fell in love with the product. So it started 5 years ago. It has grown into a community of now I think it's 1,100 now. And, and I've went through the Facebook purge, where they took away everyone that was just added overnight. Remember that? Well, we've even survived that. And now we're back up to 1,100 people in there. And as you know, you're part of that group. It's a community of ladies in there. We have a lot of fun. We share recipes, ideas, or somebody will share a funny meme and make us all crack up. We feel like we know each other in there. And as time would tell, Facebook groups have become a huge priority if you are going to sell something online. But something one of my leaders told me very early on, and I believe it also led to my success, is, Misty, they're going to buy you. They're not going to buy your product. They can get your product anywhere, but they're going to buy you. Once they connect with you, they're going to want to support you, and they're going to believe what you say because they trust you. And then they're going to want your product as well. And so, that's pretty much the beginning of the story for us. And I can't say that I had some brainstorm, like I knew I needed a group. It would lead to the success we're having right now. But I'm thankful that we did do that. So it allows us to be personable. It keeps us connected to the people that want to be connected to us. And inside the group, I can see outside of Facebook in my timeline that people I know never knew each other are now friends on Facebook, because they're connecting with each other on their family photos and stuff. And that matters. Connection matters. So that has been super helpful. And then, so as a result, I should say, I also have a business page that we work in, a website. However, I do believe that the deep roots of our business occurred and are continuing to occur in that group.
I'm really curious, because jewelry seems like a natural thing for you. You just seem like me. Jewelry is my weakness. I admit, it's my vice. Okay.
Yeah.
And it seems like a natural fit for you. But I see your husband in there. How did you get him to help you with jewelry?
Well, in the beginning, he said, Misty, I will build displays for you. He'll do the technical work, whatever I needed. But he had a job, a warehouse job, anywhere from 8 to 16 hours a day. So he said, I don't want another job. and so, for a long time, it was just me. If I needed help, he would help me. But selling it, no. To where now it has grown to a place in our business that the two of us now work this from home. And so, but he's still, you don't see him very often, but he's always behind the scenes making things happen. So, we just had a discussion one day. He said, every time we put our hands on this, it grows. So what do you say we give it a go? And so we gave it a go.
I think I have seen him on a couple of your videos or something. I have seen him, and when I did, I was like, boy, my husband helps me, like you said, behind the scenes. But I
Yes.
would never get him on camera ever.
Yeah.
How does she do that? What
Yeah.
magic has she got?
You know what I think it is, and it really goes back to the group. He's a part of that group too. And he posts those albums. He gives them, he buys things. He'll be like, oh, Melody would love this, or, oh, Tammy, this is her thing. I can't wait for so-and-so is going to buy this watch, and he's built, even from behind the scenes, a rapport with the ladies and inside that group. And then, as whenever prizes are given away, he chooses them. He chooses the prizes. So they'll like message me, tell David I love my whatever. I'm like, oh, whatever. No.
So he picked out my bracelet, huh? Okay.
Yes. Yes. And I mean, he literally goes and looks at their profile, tries to get a sense of, and plus he's putting everything in their baskets when they order. So he sees what they tend to like, and he's got a great memory. So, but I think that he's built a rapport, even though he's off screen. So again, it's that connection.
Well, tell him I said thank you, because that bracelet was absolutely perfect. I loved it as soon as I saw it. I was like, oh, this is so awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Exactly
I love
my
it.
style. I mean, it is exactly my style. So.
Wow. See, and he still blows me away. I always tell the ladies, he gives great gifts, you guys. Trust me. I don't know how he does it. He always has been able to do that. So
when you started your group, what are some of the things? I know we have some people out there that are also in product sales, and they don't see the benefit of having a group. Can you kind of explain to them why a group would be helpful to like a product-based business?
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, absolutely. Because the people that join your group, and that is the key, I do have them request to join. I make it totally their choice. I just tell them, if you want to be part of a fun community, here is the link to join our VIP jewelry group. And I let them know I'm not going to spam you, and more things happen in there than just jewelry. But the benefit of it is that, and I've heard it said in a negative way, oh, it's an island all by itself. If somebody shares from there, nobody can see it unless they're in the group. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It gives exclusivity. It brings closeness. It builds community if you do it correctly. And when you build community, you gain trust. And when you gain trust, they're going to come to you. Even if they never buy the jewelry, they're finding friendship in there. They're finding value in there. I've also heard, I believe in servant leadership. You should, or even servant business, it's not always about buy. We always give. We have special days, Tuesday's Treasures, where we just share a treasure of your life. Just share a picture. It can be a fur baby. It can be a verse from the Bible somebody did this week. I always share my family or my grandchildren because I love them babies, and they just share about themselves. Okay. And so when you make it about the people in your group and you make it purposeful to get to know them, even though you're on this thing called social media, like you and I have never met, but I feel like I know you. And I on purpose, I know where what state you live in. I on purpose know things about you. And actually, the way I got to know you, now that I'm thinking about it, is your group. You offered something I needed. You offered some coaching. 2 years ago? And we were able to come in. We had to fill out a questionnaire. That's how I met you. And I found value in that group. I was watching and seeing things, and I felt like, wow, this is really giving me great ideas, and there's great community in there. So even how you and I got together was through your group. And the biggest thing about a group that it does is it builds community, and that spreads out into your news feed, into your business page. And it's like the roots of a tree system. In our business, that's how it's been.
Now, I know a lot of people say that groups are nothing more than places for spammers to come on board, and the place where you're blasting your links all over. And there are groups like that out there, and that's their purpose. Do you find that to be a problem in your group?
No, what I did was I made use of the tools that Facebook gives you, and you can create rules for people joining your group. I have a little questionnaire when you join. I make it very clear, what we do in the group, what's expected. I even have girls on my team that join our group, and they have to put in there that they understand when they're in that group, they are not a consultant like I am. They're not there to reach out to you or anybody else. They're there and a lot of them there for training purposes, because our group is so successful. They want to see how it's done. But we make it very clear. So we use those groups rules, and we do a little investigation before we say yes. We send out that invite. Number one, that's huge, girls and gentlemen, is you send an invite. Your group has a link, and you can send them a link to request to join. Facebook loves to know that they are requesting you. You are not adding them. When they request you, that means they want to be a part of something that you're doing, and Facebook, the brain, calculates that as, okay, she wants to see what this group is doing. We're going to make sure she gets notifications. Now, when it's the reverse, when I just add you and you accept, that doesn't really do much until you start interacting in the group. And we all know that sometimes that takes a while for someone to come out of their shell and say something. And then the other thing is, so they request to join, and then I go investigate. I look at their profile. I want to make sure we're not, and if it's looking all spammy and crazy, then I just say no. I have no problem saying no. Yeah.
Have you turned down a few people? I know I have in mind, so I'm curious.
Yeah, absolutely. I've turned down even girls on my team. I've turned down just because, maybe they're seasoned enough. They don't really need to be in there. I can help them from behind the scenes, or I don't know them well enough to expose them to my group of ladies. Because again, I've built a personal relationship with them. They trust me. And I know that because you're in the group, I'll use you as an example. You would not appreciate another consultant reaching out to you and saying, hey, she's sold out of that. I have it. You wouldn't appreciate that. That's just no. So I keep a close eye on it, and we've done really well to keep that out of there. I think we've had it happen one time, and I promise you, we nipped it in the bud immediately. Our girls in the group were reaching out to me. I didn't even know it was happening. They're like, who is this? And so they ratted them out. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, and got to the end of it, But building your culture is very important, and make sure that you understand that these are people's relationships and trust that you have, and, just do that with integrity. But the group is huge. The group is huge for us. I think business owners, especially if you are presenting product online, everyone is doing that. You need to stand out. And the way you do that is you build a rapport with people, and you let them see that they can trust you. And in a group, it does make it a smaller circle. You feel kind of exclusive. There are certain things happening in our VIP group that, that there's product that never makes it to our live on our business page, because the VIPs get first dibs. We give them things that no one else gets. So make sure that you're building that. Let people know about it. And then, you can even ask people to invite people to your group. But the way your language is very important so that it's not spammy. The way David and I present it is, hey, if you know someone that is a jewelry lover that you feel like you would benefit from this group, please let them know we're here, and word of mouth will help you in that regard too. It takes a minute to build your algorithm and to get it going. Another thing that we do in our group is on those special days like Tuesday's Treasures, Misty's not the star of the show. Everyone else is. They're posting their family, their life, the things that they love. And Facebook also loves that, because Facebook, as we talked, is going back to that community feel. They want to feel like they did a great job at connecting the whole world. And now they're trying to bring it back in and bring people back together individually in closer community. And groups will do that. Groups will do that for you. So give them opportunity to speak. Make sure you pass the mic, and you're not the star. You're not the one always saying, hey, this is like Black Friday's getting ready to come. You are not going to see me spam people about everything Black Friday. I will have some great things for our clients. We will obviously offer like free shipping and things like this, but we're not going to be copying and pasting our company's whatever they put out word for word. We're going to be real about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to let them know it's available. And because we've already built trust, they will jump on board or they won't. And if they don't take it personal. They just don't need it at that time. But remember, they're going to think of you in the future if you treat them well now, and give them a place to come. You know how hard it is to find a business page? Have you tried to do that? It's really hard. Unless that person has it on their profile. And a lot of people don't know how to put that hyperlink there. And so you have no idea how to even find them again. But in a group, you can find that easily because it says right there, she manages this group. You want to be able to do that. So did I answer your question?
Yeah.
I ramble, so you'll have to say, hey.
But you did mention something that I know a lot of people do struggle with, and that is, how do people find your group? So besides inviting people, what are some other ways that people find your group?
On my profile, I make sure that there is a hyperlink there. That means the letters are in bold black because your group has an IP address. You can copy and paste that, and you can add it into your about section or your bio of your personal timeline. There's a section there. Make sure you're reachable there. Okay. And then sharing the link as well. And I talk about it a lot. To where people will ask me about it.
Now, you talked about some resources that are inside the Facebook group setup. Are there any other resources though that you use, or is it strictly what Facebook provides you?
I stick with what Facebook provides me, except I also have mobile text alerts outside of Facebook, so that when we add items to the album, if someone chooses to, they can get a text to their phone and it'll say, because David manages the albums, it'll say David added new product to the albums, happy shopping. So we do use mobile text alerts, and that's a text. Everybody will look at a text at least, you know what I mean? And we also, of course, it's not going to cost them anything, and they opt out at any time. So we do use that, and our clients love that because then they're not dependent upon Facebook's notifications, which we all know can be buried sometimes. So we don't even know anything happened.
I don't get those.
You haven't signed up. So that's the thing. Is we always leave it up. We let everybody know about it. We advertise about it or we talk about it. We always leave it up to the client or the person to reach out or to sign up. We never take anyone hostage. And so we've had slow growth, but we've also had sustainable organic growth.
Good. So what would be the number one thing that you would recommend to someone to do, like the very first thing when they want to start their group?
Bring some opinions in. Bring some people close to you in, and ask them to look at what you have set up and give you honest feedback as if they did not know you and they just joined the group. And you also have to decide what is your why and who are you? Because as you know, I'm not my company, and I haven't mentioned my company today on purpose. But I'm not my company. My company is my company. That's their brand. I'm Misty Lee Johnson. We are Jewelry with the Johnsons. Decide who you are, okay? Because if you just get a group and you fill it with your company's brand, you're going to look like everybody else in that company, okay? You are the person who has invested in that company, and you're going to sell that product, right? So make sure that you determine who you are before you go live in the group, and then bring people in close to you. And listen, don't add them to your group. Send them a link and have them request to join. Get used to that and have that be your practice. And then ask them, say, hey, I want your honest feedback. How do you feel about what I have going on in here? Because I want to start doing my business in here. That's what we did. And, you know, I had some pretty tough cookies, give me some pretty tough criticism, but I appreciated it because I was only doing what I knew. Copy, paste, copy, paste. Oh, that looks great. I love the way she worded that. Copy, paste, copy, paste. And, you know, they've seen that 100 times, you know, the makeup company, their color is purple. I'm not going to say the name, but you're thinking of who they are. Every time you see that graphic, your brain has seen it so many times, it skims right over it. But if I see your face, you know, with that mascara on or whatever, and you're trying to hold your toddler while you're putting it on, I'm going to stop and look at that. So you want to decide what your brand is, who you are, and then the reason you bring the people closest to you in is because they actually know who you are. So if they see you, like, they know I love my family, I love Jesus, and I love coffee, and then jewelry, of course. But if I'm trying to be anything else, it's going to stick out to the people that I love. And so that's the thing, is make sure you're presenting the most genuine you, because that's who they're going to buy. Absolutely.
I don't know how many times we've had to talk about that 100 times. I love it when I get on, especially when I get on the news feed and I'm seeing the exact same post. Like tomorrow for Black Friday, I promise you I will see the same post from various companies repeatedly, and you just want to cry some days. It's like, how many times do I have to see this?
Yeah. And it doesn't add value. It doesn't. It all looks the same. And we're not robots. We're human beings. You know, don't be a human doing, be a human being. Quit doing what everybody else is doing and go be you, you know.
And I think that's probably it. I knew you did jewelry before I knew what jewelry company you were with, because there is more than one. And it's like when I saw the price, when you sent me my invoice, I was like, oh, I know who she's with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Until then, I had no clue. It was just like, oh, I love this. I want this.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, and that says more than, hey, I'm with this company, you know, and we have a great company, you know, we do, but we have to be individuals. You know, it's just like being married, the two become one. Yes, they do, but you still have two individuals with two very different personalities, you know, that are independent of one another. It's the same thing when you're in a company. Don't become your company. Your company has already become the company. You are someone who's in business. You bought a franchise. That's how I like to look at it. You bought a franchise. You have to do your company's product. You sell it at the price point that they say, and you follow their rules. But you are the face of your company and your product.
Good advice. I love it. I think I just heard my dogs preparing down the hall again, so I apologize. But hey.
Oh, that's okay.
Listen. They're in the country with 4 dogs, so hey.
Yeah. I love it. I'm jealous of that. I want to live in the country with 4 dogs. I don't know if my husband does, but I know I do. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't really thinking about it either.
So the group.
Go ahead. You were going to say something about
That's okay.
No, that's okay. The group. I was just going to babble about my dogs because they're like my kids now. My kids are all grown up and gone, so my dogs are all I have to talk about now.
Yeah. They're like family too. You know, one thing we did in our group is, you know, people will have like, what is it? I'm trying to think of the popular Tip Tuesday, Throwback Thursday, you know, even using that language on Facebook or any social media for that matter, the algorithm brain's going to pick that up. And it's just like copy and pasting. So we have unique days inside of our group. We have Mugshot Monday, because I'm a coffee lover. Again, that has to do with Misty. I love coffee. Like, that is my blood type. There's going to be a day when the doctor says I can't have it, and I'm going to say, I'm sorry. No go, bro. We got to have coffee. You don't want this without coffee. but it's Mugshot Monday, and they literally, some of them will post 7-Up, you know, or whatever. Just post a picture of themselves, what they're running on today, you know, and you've seen it. They even open up a little bit about other things, the ones, you know, that have been there a long time, or even just feel comfortable. But again, they're the star of the show. It's called Mugshot Monday, and we give something away. We draw somebody's name, and somebody gets $5 off their invoice that week. Be a giver. Make sure that you're being a giver in the group. And if you give value, you give content. I shared a recipe the other day. Everybody wanted my taco soup recipe. I put it in there, and I told them, hey guys, this is your group too. Share recipes with us. What are you cooking? You know, don't make it just about you, because you'll lose them, and your group will be, you know, kind of quiet, you know. But if you make it about them and give them a mic, people love to give their opinion, and don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of that. You can have rules and guidelines. You know, everybody has to be respected. You know, we're not going to have political discussions in here, but make it about them. Make it about them, and make sure that you're giving, not always taking.
So what are some, now that brings me up to a good question, because I'm sure you saw exactly the same thing I did. I think I have a feeling we probably both follow the same Facebook experts, just from what you said. So you've seen where they're clamping down on things like giveaway and contests, and so what are some good ways that you've thought of to spur that interaction in your group?
So I just let them know that, you know, we'll put them in a drawing. I still use that language. Now that you said that, I should probably change that. But since my motives are pure, I haven't really thought about that, you know, really trying to give something away. And by the way, if they win and they don't buy anything that week, we'll just send them something and tell them we care about them. You know, we don't, that's just all there is to it. But yes, some of the ways that we have changed our language, we'll say, you know, respond instead of comment, you know, because comment below is one of those trigger words. And as far as drawing and giveaway, you know, we let them know that we're going to spread the love. You know what I mean? We just use a little bit different language and try to make it sound more personal, but to where they know that, and I let them know frequently, even in our live shows, that if you sign up for our text alerts, I promise I'm not going to spam you like with a bunch of stuff. I'm just going to tell you when we drop an album or when we're live. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we follow the same experts. There's two that one is about servant leadership, and the other one is a Facebook, he's a Facebook developer. He's a genius, and I'm not. So don't be afraid to learn from people smarter than you. That's what makes the world go round. But so with giveaways and things like this, I call it a referral drawing. You know, go get all your jewelry loving friends, and you know, when you do, we'll make sure your name goes in our referral drawing this week. We give away something every week, but we do try to stay away from those words.
I've had some people actually comment on the fact that their engagement within their group has gone way down because they don't know what to say now. They know they can't say comment below, or tag your friends is another one that'll get you slapped. Mm-hmm. You know, share this with all of those things will. Mm-hmm. Facebook, the hand of Facebook will come down upon you. So,
and we have to remember that, you know, and because we have a pretty large team, and I will work with some of our consultants, and they'll say, you know, Facebook, the algorithm is working against me. And really, I have to tell them, you know, you're working against the algorithm. The algorithm is not a human. It's a brain. It's a computer. And you're working against it. You're not going to outsmart it. You know what I mean? If you choose to be on Facebook and on social media, you will have to do it their way, you know. And really, if you think about it, this way is a lot easier. We've just gotten so far into the other way of being spammy, copy and paste, like, share, comment, like, share. We've gotten so used to all that. We're having to break those bad habits, which really, if you think about it, they were super unnatural, right? Where they're really just bringing us back into making a connection with people. And so.
Oh, I know. That was one of the first pieces of advice I was given, is before you do anything on Facebook, go to your timeline and start and like comment and like and post, or, you know, share like the first 5 or 10 things, so that I was like, but what if I don't like the first 5 or 10 things I see? And if I scroll down any further, then it becomes, if I go looking for something that I do like, then it becomes a huge time suck. Well, I look for those things to make sure I get my quota of 10 things to like and comment on before I dare go live or anything, so I'll be seen. It's like, no.
You know, one of the things that we do is to interact, because you should interact with people. We have daily method of operations. I love that you brought that up yesterday. But one of the things that we do that we've always done is we have a customer order sheet. And so that's how we know how many pieces they ordered. David fills it out, and then I use it to invoice. And then I don't file it until Tuesday afternoon, after I've reached out to every person, because we ship on Friday, and say, hey, how are you loving your most recent order from us? And we do that in Messenger. We've always done that. But you know what? Guess what? Just because, and they will always reach out and say, hey, oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you. Tell David I love what he picked out for me. You know, or they may say, I'm so disappointed. I got this earring and it came broken, you know, and a lot of people will cringe at that, but I love that, because a lot of times people will not tell you what's wrong. They just won't come back. And so when we reach out that way and say, hey, how are you loving your latest order from us? And they say, you know, actually my earring came broke and I'm a little disappointed. I have the opportunity to fix that and wow them and make sure that they get whatever they need from me to make it better. And they remember that. And the Facebook brain, when you're talking in Messenger back and forth, says, hey, these two like each other outside of class. They like to speak to each other, you know, more personally. And so then guess what? We're just in their news feed. And I didn't have to go do something wonky like you're talking about, like this many. I didn't have to go do that. All I did was my job. A business owner should check to see how you're loving your latest order. We should be doing that. So best business practices will also help you.
Somebody even did, though, try to turn Messenger into one of those little wonky things, because she messaged me and she goes, how do you make sure you always get the last word on Messenger? I said, what? How do you make sure you always get the last word? I said, I don't. When I'm done talking, I'm done talking. And if they say something after that, good for them. Okay.
Right.
But I'm done. Right. I've said everything I need to say.
Exactly.
Do you give them the thumbs up or whatever to get that? No, I hate that thumbs up. You know, yep. That says, okay, you're just trying to get the last word. That's all you want. You want to get that last word. No.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Have a normal conversation, and when you're done speaking, you're done speaking. Okay?
That's it. That's it. And Tuesday is just a good day for us. You know, we figure everybody by that time should have their order, or they may even say, I haven't received it yet. So guess what I get to do? I go to my pirate ship, I grab their link, and I find out, and I send them a screenshot. Oh, you know what? It's actually at your local post office. You should be seeing it later today, you know, because, and so it's just that customer service, but that is not weird or spammy. That is expected of customer service. So, and you can do that if you're selling product on Facebook and in a group, you can do that right in Messenger. And when someone shops with us, I do send them a friend request, but I let them know I'm going to do it. So that I let them know, so that when I check on you, when your order arrives next week and I check on you, I want you to go see your messages. It doesn't go to your other message. If you want to not be friends later, I totally understand, but I think you're going to like my profile. It's not all about my business, you know, and then most people stay. So, and I also don't get, I wanted to say that I don't get gun shy about asking people to be my friend on Facebook, because on my timeline, they're not going to see a ton about my business. They'll see some things, but it's mostly going to be me. They're going to know who Misty is.
Well, it's been really great talking to you. And I love all the information you gave us on groups, and I'm hoping some of the people that have been a little hesitant to start a group, for that simple reason, I sell products, what I talk about. Go hang out in Misty's group and you'll see.
Oh, well, and you know, we talked about this before we started this talk today. By the way, I love what you do, and I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. I've been watching you for almost 2 years now, and I appreciate what your group adds and what you add. I always learn something every time I'm listening to you, and I just want to shout out to your audience, like, you don't know it all, and neither do I, and neither does Melody. We don't know it all, but we also learn from each other. And I appreciate that you brought that to the table and brought a community get together that will share with one another. You know, a lot of times people hold their secrets here, like they've got the golden egg, and you don't do that. And I honor you and appreciate that about you.
That was one of the first things I learned from a gentleman who is all about giving. His name is Ken MacArthur. And he was the one that sat me down and said, if you really want to make it, you've got to give it away. You give it all away. I said, okay. That doesn't make any sense from a business standpoint, but okay. But it just felt good as I started doing it. It felt good. It felt good to see people come to me and go, you know, there's a person I've been working with that's just quit her job not too long ago. And she's just super excited. She's got a kid. She was a working mom, single mom, and she's built her business up to where she can quit. I'm not going to say her name because I don't know if she wants me to. But when she messaged me and said, "Today's my last day," that just felt really good. And I don't know how big a part I played in that, but it was like, wow. And I have never charged her a dime for anything. Yeah. She's never bought anything from me, but I think now that she's making some, money, I feel like maybe one day she might, I don't know. But it doesn't matter because look what she's done. It just feels so good.
Yes. And when you invest in others, there's no better return on your investment, than when you see something like that, and back to the group topic that you've brought. We talked about this before we opened this recording today. I've seen it, and I know if you haven't, you will soon. Pay attention. There is a Facebook commercial out there that talks about Facebook groups. When you see it on national television, okay, you've heard it from her. She's trying to tell you, but it's on national television. It's time to take action. You don't want to be 6 months down the road and say, I wish I had done this. Just go do it. Go do it.
Go start your group. I've had a couple that I've had to close down because they just weren't working. One just got full of some people that I didn't like, and at the time I just didn't feel comfortable booting them out. I don't have that problem now. I will boot you to the door.
You'll be like, I don't see anything anymore. Where are you at? Oh, really? I don't know. That's darned old Facebook.
Hey, you learn by doing. So I've had a few groups, and I've shut a few groups down and started a few back up, and you figure it out as you go. I'm a big believer. One of my very first mentors was Bob Jenkins. I don't even know if I'd call him a mentor really, but he was just someone that talked to me a lot. He's responsible for getting me on Twitter, which is kind of that's my home. Facebook is crazy, but Twitter is where I hang out. And he got me on Twitter, and the very first thing he ever told me was, take action, revise it later, okay? Just go do it, fix it later,
okay? There you go.
So go start your group.
Yes.
Fix it later, okay? It'll be okay, I promise. Nobody makes more mistakes online than I do, and I'm still here. So go do it, fix it later. Go hang out in Misty's group. I'm going to ask her to share the link to her group. I know you've got that, right? You ready for that? Share the link to her group so that you can go hang out, or the name or something, so you can go find her, so you can hang out in her group and see how easy it is to build a group around a product or a set of products, and then go do it. And then watch her, and don't copy her, because then we'll have to slap you. But use her as a guide to build your own group and build your own community. And I promise you will see big results. You will. And it may take time. It's like any relationship that you build. It may take time, but it'll be well worth it. And you'll have some good relationships. So because of it, and you'll gain some friends. Like I've gained a friend in you, like I said, it's because of a Facebook group that you and I are even connected. So how do we find you? So my group is $5 Jewelry VIP group by Misty J, MistyJay. And then if that doesn't help you out, because I don't know how to share a link in here, you can go to Misty Lee Johnson.
you'll see another thing, just your profile picture needs to be your face close to the camera, because in a news feed, that little circle far away, you want them to recognize you, but you'll see my face and you'll know it's me. And then my link to my group is also on my profile, so you can request to join and I'll make sure you get pushed through, as long as it's not wonky or spammy. So
thanks so much, Misty. I appreciate you being my very first. When I invited you, I was pretty sure it was going to be an awesome experience, and yes, you are the product group guru.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but I'm happy to share, what we've done. I'm always happy, like you said, to give it away.
So thanks a lot.
You are so welcome, and thank you for having me. It's been an honor.